The cast of Australian comedy show Have You Been Paying Attention have never shied away from poking fun at the royal family. And Meghan Markle was the butt of the joke yet again on Monday's episode, this time over rising tensions between the Sussexes and Queen Elizabeth II. Comedian Fifi Box took a swipe at Meghan after quizmaster Tom Gleisner played a clip from the Queen's welcome speech at the recent United Nations Climate Change Conference. "I could not be more proud of them," the Queen said in the short clip. "Proud of them? Proud of who?" Tom asked the panel. Fifi was first to push her buzzer, responding, "Meghan Markle's trolls." The audience burst into laughter, as Tom jokingly replied, "She's unleashed them." Ed Coverley finally gave the correct answer, explaining, "Well, this was spicy, because she thanked Prince Charles and then Prince William for their efforts in conservation, but didn't thank Prince Harry and Meghan Markle." Have You Been Paying Attention is the most popular panel show down under, and is considered Australia's answer to Britain's Mock the Week. The Sussexes are longtime environmental advocates, with Harry saying in May that climate change is one of the most pressing issues we are facing. He most recently spoke about climate change in September when he hosted Global Citizens Live in New York City. However, despite the couple's advocacy, the Queen made no mention of them in her welcome speech at the United Nations Climate Change Conference. Besides, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's pledge to become carbon net zero by 2030 has been praised as a laudable project by a royal expert, who noted that their non-profit foundation Archie is still a fledgling business. Despite this, the timing of their announcement has come into question, after they released the statement shortly after the Queen's COP26 speech where she had spoken of her sense of pride towards Prince Charles and Prince William's environmental activism. Speaking on the Pod Save the Queen podcast, royal expert Russell Myers said, "I think it's quite laudable how they have set a target to be net zero, to offset their private jets and to offset the energy being used as part of Archie. How doable that is we'll see. I suppose it's quite fashionable as something to do. Was this a good time? I suppose it was as good a time as any, but the fact it was the United Nations Climate Change Conference happening, probably no coincidence that it came the day that the Queen had made a speech talking of her pride of both Charles and William, and then not mentioning Harry or any of the other family members. So I'm sure that did burn a little bit, and that's maybe why they thought it was a good idea to put this statement out, but again, a laudable project, let's see how they get to it." Speaking of their commitment, he added, "We still don't really know what Archie is about, it's still in its infancy. Obviously we've seen them pop up here and there, but it's a fledgling business." In a statement shared to their Archie website on November 3, the Sussexes said they will be ensuring the organization's carbon footprint is as little as possible by making a series of choices over time. They said, "While we have actively made choices to offset and balance this carbon footprint, now, with the tools provided by partner organizations, we know that we can all do better. We can be net zero, and this is what we pledge to do." Archie has hired an independent consultant to track its activities since last October, and in 2022, they will introduce a new plan which takes guidance from a number of environmental organizations such as the Greenhouse Gas Protocol, GGP. The couple also made clear that they will offset any remaining emissions by investing into carbon removal products. During an interview with Oprah Winfrey for the Apple TV Plus series The Me You Can't See, the Duke of Sussex described climate change as one of the two most pressing issues the world is facing. He said, "With kids growing up in today's world, pretty depressing, right? Depending on where you live, your home country is either on fire, it's either underwater, houses or forests are being flattened." Along with mental health and gender equality, the climate crisis is a key focus area for the couple through Archie and their partnerships. It was recently announced that they had become impact partners at a sustainable investing firm, in order to encourage the younger generation to be more considerate with their finances. As they are no longer working members of the royal family, the Sussexes were not in attendance at the COP26 climate summit in Glasgow. Prince Charles and Prince William, along with their wives Camilla and Kate, traveled to the important summit on November 1 and attended an evening reception with world leaders.